First of all, good afternoon to everyone. And today is the fourth day of this IELTS course. Today we are going to talk about listening. This is part 2 listening. You can say chapter 2 or like skill number 2, whatever you call it. It's listening to. And listening to is mainly for specific information. In this part of the listening, we will be looking at listening for specific information. Okay, like for example, what are the missing words? How can we prepare before we listen, right? And on the other side, it says here, when we listen, we are only interested in finding our very specific information, such as date, a time, a name, or other details. We can try to work out what type of words we are listening. This will help us find the answer. So mainly in this part, we will see that you will look for some kind of specific information. Okay. Now I want someone who can help me to read the next part of the text. There are people still joining. Okay, I'll be letting them in. Okay, I need someone who can help me to read the text here, predicting what type of words you need.
Predicting what type of words you need.
Yeah.
Number 1, find out the information from 2 other students to complete this questionnaire. Use your own words to form questions. For example, for date of birth, ask when were you born?
Okay, so this is some kind of information. It's like specific information. Find out information from 2 other students to complete this questionnaire. Use your own words to form questions. For example, like date of birth, or like your name, or the day when you were born. Okay, gentlemen, some of you are asking that I should go back slightly and give a review of my yesterday's session. Okay, so yesterday we mainly focused on listening 1. That was listening called orientating yourself. We completed a number of exercises. If you see the book, we completed page 8 and page 9. Page 8, page 9, and 10. We stopped at page 10. Page 10 is this one. We completed this task, if you remember. And today, we are going to talk about the next part of the listening, that is listening for specific information. Okay. Now, here we say that sometimes you need some specific information like your name, your nationality, your date of birth, your telephone number. So here is the exercise for that. It says, predicting what type of words you need. Find out information from 2 other students to complete this questionnaire. Use your own words to form questions. Okay. For date of birth, ask when were you born. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you have some questions here, like you ask how old are you? How old are you? Okay. When were you born? What is your name? What is your date of birth? What is your nationality? Where were you born? Where do you live? Okay. Then the next one is which one is yours? Which, like for example, when you have 2 options, you say, which one do you like? Okay. Now the questions are, we are not going to like discuss these questions. They're quite personal questions. So you can, if you are writing in your notebook, you can write about yourself. You can write about you can write your name. You can, or just imagine someone you know, or he's in our group here. You can write his name, then write nationality. Okay, and nationality. For example, when you write Pakistani, uh, P capital, a date of birth, write the date when you were born, your telephone number, usual wake up time, the time when you mostly when you wake up in your normal routine. Next, means of travel to college. I mean, if you go to school, college, or university, what means of transport do you use? Do you go to the college by bus or by car, um, or like by foot, or how do you go? What is your means of transport? Mean the method you use or the means you use to go to work or go to study. Okay, then the next thing here says question number 2. We are going to start something from here now. Question number 2 says you are going to hear 5 voicemail messages. Okay, say what type of words you need to listen for in each message and write them in the table below. Okay, again, you are going to hear 5 voicemail messages. Say what type of words you need to listen for each message and write it. All right, I'll come back to the participants later. Look at the questions here. It's question number 2. It says you are going to hear 5 voicemail messages. Say what type of word you need to listen for in each message and write it or write them in the table below. Okay, type of words you see. If you look at the book here, you will be writing the type of words here. Okay, here. I mean, for example, 1 is already done, 1 and 2. Type of word, it's day or date, time or place. Okay, we will do in the same way. Before we listen, we will just try to do this exercise. For example, number 1 is A, Julia confirming dinner on, you will write something, at, again you will write something. So can you tell me in the chat box, what is something you predict? Okay, so it says someone has already answered day, time, place. So whatever you write, please write it down in the chat box. You should also write it in your exercise book, but at the same time, write in the chat box as well. I think Muhammad Hamza has done wonderfully well. He has written A. A is day, time, and place. B says cost or instrument. Let's see, we will check the answers. And C, who called and reason of calling. Okay, I'm just getting answer for Hamza. Why don't you answer as well? I'm just wondering why only Hamza is giving me the answer. Is there any problem with the chat? Okay, someone says repeat. The question is, look at the text here. These are voice messages. Voice messages say, A, Julia confirming dinner on and at. What kind of, what type of words you think will be the answer here? It's like, for example, on, it says day or date, and at, it's like a time or a place. Okay, so this one is already done here. So we will be working on the second one now. This one, it says here, number 3, ready, cost of repairs. Okay, it's like maybe a device or instrument or something like that. So that is B. I hope it is clear now. So B, the answer can be, most of you, what you are saying, cost, instrument, okay, food. Someone says food. Cost of repairs. How it can be food? Because it says someone repaired something and you are giving the cost of repairs. Food, I don't think this is the right answer. B, material expenses, it can be. Instrument and money, yes, that's right. Instrument was fixed and money was paid. That's that sounds good. Okay, now when we look at number three, okay, you can raise your hand if you want to say something, you want to share with others. I will unmute you. Now this one, B, is completed. Okay, I'll be showing you the answers in few minutes time. So if you miss something, don't worry. So number 2 is completed. Look at numbers. B is completed. Look at C. 5 called, can't get textbook because it is. Now, what kind of word do you think will fit here? Now, we are talking about C. C, student, C says student dollars, okay, or C, name, okay, someone called and name, and the second, can't get textbook because it is expensive. Yes, not available. Oh, okay, that's good answer. It is expensive. Okay, now this is all predictions. There is, I think most of the answers are correct. We don't know because we didn't listen. Okay, and we are just predicting and we are guessing. Okay, we will move on. Now look at the next one. That is D. Dr. Boyd is ill with something. New appointment on. Okay. Now, Dr. Boyd is ill with something. Okay. So what will you write in the first one? Ill with food. Food and day. Appointment on. The second one you say is patient. First one is patient. Second one, okay, a disease. Okay, Muhammad Mansha, excellent. I think you're very close. Next part is day. Dr. Boyle is ill with maybe some kind of disease or sickness. A new appointment on maybe another day or something. I think it's very clear. We'll move on. Sam rang for Prof Hall on Saturday. Please ring this number. Okay. Someone says Corona or okay. I think this book was published sometime in the past. And okay, so E, look for E now. Sam rang for Prof Hall on Saturday. Please ring the number. So meet Professor Hall on Saturday or Prof Hall on Saturday. Please ring this number. And the second part, you will write down the number. Okay, in this way, this prediction exercise, when like before you start the test, you can just quickly, of course, you will not be writing these words or type of words in the exam, but like just quickly in 30 seconds, 20 seconds time, you just go through these words and see what kind of answer is possible. Okay, so now we have answered this part of the question. We will look at question number 3. Question number 3 says, listen and complete gaps 1 to 10. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the listening. I'm going to play the listening from 1 to 10. It's track 6. and you will be reading these voicemail messages from here, these voicemail messages. And when you listen, for example, A, you write it down, Julia confirming dinner on, you just write your answer here. And at, you write the answer, whatever you listen, you write the answer here. Now, those who have the book, they can write it on the book. And those who don't have the book, they can write it on a piece of paper, and or they can write in the chat box, and then they can complete in their notebooks. Okay, so I'll give you like 10 seconds to keep yourself ready. Keep your exercise book or your notebook with you, your pen and pencil with you, and get ready for the listening. I'm going to play the listening now. Okay. Number one, someone says Friday night, and then 7:30. Friday, okay, Friday. There is no, here in this, we didn't read that there is a limit of 2 words or 3 words. So you can write as many words as you want, but it shouldn't be like long sentences. So Friday, 7:30. So first one, on Friday at 7:30. Most of you are having the same answer. Please type your answer if you have completed. Okay, and someone is saying, is it IELTS? Yes, it is IELTS. Okay, now the second, now the thing is, when you finish question 1 and the others are still doing, the best thing is look at the next question and make yourself familiar with that. Predict what it can be. And I'm going to play the listening. Okay, so write down the answer, please. Actually, I shouldn't stop this listening, but since we are just practicing and we are like starting, so I'm stopping it just to give you some extra time to write the answers. Oh, economy, out of order, university, university bookstore, and out of order. Okay, now we'll move on to the next one. Sometimes you have to be quick, like for, when he's telling the number, you have to write it quickly and complete. Okay, first is farewell. Okay, you have to check the spellings of word farewell, and the number 98184078. Okay, 9810. Okay, thank you, Hamza, for your answers. Yes, that's right. All right. Now we will look at the next part. But before we go to the next part, look at the answers here. Okay. This was question number 2, which we completed. You can see the sample answers here. In the keywords, the word type of words which you wrote. These are like sample answers. Number 3, something mechanical being repaired. Number 4, sum of money in the dollars. I'm not talking about this voice messages. I'm talking about question number 2. It's a type of words which you have written. Okay. And number 5, types of shop or person. 6, type of problems with the book. 7, illness or disease. 8, date, appointment. 9, event or arrangement. Okay, look at the next part, which is like filling in these numbers. Question number 1 is the answer is Friday. Most of you gave the right answer. Yes, it's Friday. Friday. And the second one, after Friday, the second one is 7:30. And after 7:30, number 3 is DVD. Okay. Number 4, $45. Dollar sign is already written. Number 5 is bookstore. Number 5, bookstore. And number 6, out of print. Number 7, the answer is flu. Okay. 8, Monday 3:30. And number 9, farewell party. Okay. And number 10, you can see the number 98184078. This was the number. This was the last question, last listening part. Okay. I hope it is clear, this exercise. If there is any question, please ask before we move on. If you have any question, please ask. And if you don't have a question, I will move on to the next question. And the next question is, okay, this is again the same listening, but it says, listen to, okay, thank you, I'll move on. It says, listen to the recording again and make a note of the words each speaker said, which help you to answer the questions. The first one has been done for you. Now he's asking you for this part, for this section here, that I will play the listening again, listen to the recording again and make a note of the words each speaker said. I mean, you cannot write everything, but like something which he said. Okay, I'll be starting again. Okay, so I'll give you like 10 or 15 seconds to complete your responses. And then we'll move on. I will show you, or you can share the answers. Okay, yeah, Hamza is saying, A, I'm coming for dinner on Friday night. B, your DVD player is now working. C, we haven't been able, correct it, Hamza. We haven't been able to obtain book. Dr. Boyd has flu. Could you come on Monday? Okay, then E, we are having a farewell party for Prof. Hall. Okay, B, your DVD is ready for collection. Okay, all right, good answers. Okay, different answers can be possible here. It's not like any exact answer. You can just have a look at the screen and you can compare. You can compare your answers with my answers, and you can write it down. It's like what the speaker said. B, you will need to pay. C, haven't been able to obtain. Obtain means to get. And D, could you come on? E, give us a call. As I said earlier, different answers can be possible in this question. This is the kind of practice. In exam, you get the questions which have specific answers. The answers cannot be different. It can be the same answer, one answer. Okay, it's not like you have like so many answers and any answer is possible. No, since we are just practicing, so that's why these are like practice exercises. All right, I think we are very clear. You can share if there is any concern, share your concern in the chat. And if you have any question, raise in the chat and I will stop and we will answer your questions. Okay, once we finish this one, we'll move on. You can also raise your hand and I can open your mic. Okay, now the next one, here I need someone's help who can help me to read. This is listening to IELTS listening test practice. Okay, now going back here, now you have seen the text. Okay, I'll make it, yeah, this is the whole thing here, listening 7. The first thing, look at the words used in the task to help you guess the topic. Like for example, say city aquarium, adult, group, discount, price included, requirements, advantage, must pay, price includes. So when you look at these words, it gives you some kind of idea that what is this text about? What is this listening all about? Okay, and you can figure it out. You can just like guess or understand what kind of questions or listening is it going to be, or what kind of answers will be required. And the second thing, decide who the speakers are. Who are the people speaking? Next thing is, study the table carefully to work out what type of words are missing. For example, it's like number one, it's type of ticket, adult, cost, number one. Now, what kind of word will be required here? Number two is like advantage. What is the advantage if you buy this kind of ticket? And then the requirement. Number three, what type of ticket is it? And the cost is $19. Advantage, it has 30% discount. Requirements, you must have something. Okay. The third is, it's a group ticket. It's already written. So you have adult ticket, you have group ticket, one ticket name is missing. You will write it down in number three. And then the cost of the group ticket is $250 for 10 people. And advantage, price includes when you pay this for this group ticket, you will also get something. What is that? You will write it in number five. And then must pay something. I don't know, maybe you must pay online, or you must pay in advance, or you must pay some extra charges or some kind of taxes or whatever it is. You will write it in number six. So this is how, before you read, you try to understand what is the text about. Okay. The next thing, study the table carefully to work out what type of words are missing. Note whether the columns or rows have a heading. Now, you must understand what is a column and what is a row. Okay. Because if you don't know what is column and what is row, it will be very difficult for you to understand. And just to help you, I'll show you something here. If you see this picture here, or like when you go and you pray in mosque, you stand in rows, you make rows. You don't stand like in columns or in lines, or you make rows. You can see here, when you have something in this way, this is a row, and these are different columns. You see here, these are like 4 columns here, and here is a row written in red color. So it's very important that you understand what information is required in rows and what information is required in columns. I mean, from top to down. Okay. The next thing, note the order of the questions. What is the order of the question? Do the numbers move across the rows or down the columns? You see here, now the number 1, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, the listening is according to the text here. I mean, for example, the first, when you start, you will get the answer for question 1, then question 2, question 3, 4, 5, and 6. But in the real test, it may not. So don't be confused about that. Since this is just practice, most of the time it comes in order. Okay, note the order of the questions. Do the numbers move across the rows or down the columns? Okay, now I'll be playing the listening. Take 30 seconds to look at the table below and then discuss what type of information is missing. Okay, it says, listen to the first part of the conversation and answer question 1 to 6. I will give you like not 30 seconds, let's say 20 seconds, because we have already discussed this listening, and then I will play. So just in 20 seconds, look at the text, make yourself familiar with the text, and we will start the listening. And again, when you write, you can write down quickly on a piece of paper, or you can, if you want to direct answer me, you can just write the answers in the chat box. Okay, so there's another thing which I have noticed while in the listening, that the words which are written on the book, sometime they are different in the listening. So if you are good at, like if you have good vocabulary, you can quite easily figure it out what is the answer. Okay, so for example, it says here 30% discount. This is number three, $19, then 30% discount. But in the listening, she didn't say discount. She said reduction. Reduction is the same thing like discount. Okay. And other thing, if you look at number 6, it says must pay. Okay. Must pay advance. Okay. But she said something slightly, same thing, but slightly different in the listening. So they don't give you the same words when they speak in the listening. So because if they speak the same words, you will directly get the answer. So it's good to have like, you should know, like for example, discount is another word for discount, reduction, reduced price, something like that. Okay. I'll move on. If you have any question, please say it in the chat box. And otherwise, I'll be moving on. Yes, some of you have given me the answer. Please write down number 1. He says, I think, who is that? Shazib. It's $27. Number 1, he says $27. 2, no booking. Number 3, student concession. 4, passport. 5, guide tour or guided tour. Number 6, in advance. And Hamza is also having almost the same answers. Okay, let me show you the answer key. Okay. Question number 6. Yes, number 1 is $27. $27. Number 2, no booking. Number 2 is no booking. Okay, and number 3, student. And number 4, passport. Number 5, guided. It's not guide tour, it's guided tour. Guided tour. Okay. Number 6, in advance. Okay, you must pay in advance. Okay, and that was the last part. Okay, now if you look at the next part, okay, this is actually the same continuation. After 6, we will listen to the question number 7, but I want someone who can just read this part and try to be familiar with the text. Mariam is raising hand. Okay, yes, please.
IELTS listening practice test. If you have to complete some sentences, you need to work out what type of words are missing, but also remember that the sentence need to be grammatically correct. Number 7, the sentences which follow are based on the second part of the conversation between the man and the receptionist at the city aquarium. Take 30 seconds to prepare before you listen, and listen to the second part of the conversation and answer questions 7 to 10. Complete the sentences below. Write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. Number 7, you can buy a book that tells you about the dash in the aquarium. The gift shop is situated next to the dash. The aquarium closes at dash today. The tickets are cheaper when you buy them dash.
Okay, so if you look at question 7, it says before 7, if you have, for example, here, starting from here, if you have to complete some sentences, you need to work out what type of words are missing. But also remember that the sentences need to be grammatically correct. Now here, before we were just filling in the form like aquarium, about buying the ticket or online or from the city aquarium. Here it says you will complete the sentences. It says here that your sentences must be grammatically correct. If you make any grammar mistake, spelling mistake, or there is a problem with the capitalization, you will not get the marks for that. Okay, now it says the sentences which follow are based on the second part of the conversation. In the first part, we have already listened between the man and the receptionist at the city aquarium. Take 30 seconds to prepare before you listen. Take 30 seconds to prepare. When you prepare, you must have a paper and pen with you. So you are looking at the text and you are trying to figure it out, what kind of information is possible in the listening. Okay, listen to the second part of the conversation and answer questions 7 to 10. Complete the sentences below. Write no more than 3 words. Now, in the previous exercise, there was no word limit. But here, you have to be very careful and you have to follow the word limit. Okay. Number 7, you can buy a book that tells you about the dash in the aquarium. Can you make any guess in the chat box what kind of answer can be possible here? You can buy a book that tells you about the dash in the aquarium. So what can be written in number 7? Number 8, the gift shop is situated next to about the fishes in the aquarium. Okay. Number 8, the gift, this is not, I'm not telling this is Hamza saying fishes. And then quality, menu, any building. Okay, we'll see. Number 8, the gift shop is situated next to the building or any building or, okay. Number 9, the aquarium closes at, I think, number 9, the aquarium closes at time. We'll write time. The tickets are cheaper when you buy them. The tickets are cheaper when you buy them. What can be the answer here? We're guessing in advance, or someone says in advance. Okay, without wasting any further time, I will play the listening. That's interesting. I'll give you like 10 seconds. Hamza is raising hand. Hamza, it's not fair. You raise your hand and you go somewhere else. Okay? You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, look at the answers here. If you are still completing, I'll wait for 10 seconds. You can share your answers with me in the chat box. Okay, someone is saying number 1, fish, 2, cafe, 3, 7:30, 4, on internet. Okay, sounds good. Okay, let me show you my answers. Yes, number 7 is fish. Number 8, cafe. Yes. Number 9, 7:30 p.m. Number 10, on the internet. Yes. And that's it. Okay. Actually, you have seen question number 9. If you look at the book here, question number 9, it's here down. Question number 9, it comes here. This is question number 9. How is the answer in sentence 9 different from the other answers? How is the answer in sentence 9 different from the other answer? Can anyone raise hand and tell me the answer, please? 2 persons are raising hand. Azim. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Azim.
Sir,
Azim.
Sir, I want to ask that in answer number 10, you have written on the internet, and if we write just internet in the blank, that should be correct or wrong?
That will be correct. No, correct. The
Okay,
tickets
sir.
are cheaper when you buy them online, or you say internet. Okay.
Sir, if in the instructions there has been written that no more than 3 words.
Yes. So you are writing just one word.
Be the 3 words, but if we write only, yes, sir. So that doesn't make me wrong.
No, not at all. They should be grateful to you. You are writing one word, not more than 3 words. No more than 3 words mean your answer can be in 1 word. It can be in 2 words. It can be in 3 words, but not more than 3 words. It simply says that. Okay. Thank you very
Okay,
much,
sir.
Azim. Hamza, I hope this time you speak.
Sir, the aquarium usually closes at 6 p.m., but today it's closing at 7:30 p.m.
Say it again, Hamza. I didn't get it.
Sir, the question 9 is different because the aquarium closes usually at 6 p.m., but it's closing at 7:30 today.
Oh, okay. But uh, when you look at the answers of answer number 7, 8, 9, and 10, how is the answer in sentence 9 different from the other answers? Do you find any difference? Don't get it, right? I will show you now. Okay. Someone else is raising hand. Yes, please. I don't know the name, but I have unmuted you. Please say whatever you want to say. It says hum, H-U-M. I have unmuted you. Please say whatever you want to. No? Okay, Azim.
Yes, sir. Sir, question number 9 is different because it is a number.
Thank you. Thank
7:30.
you, Azim. Azim, thank you very much. Okay, you are completely right. 100%. Look here, question 9. It's a number, not a word. Okay. The others are just the words. Number 9, it's a number, not a word. Thank you so much. Your answer is right. Okay. Someone else is raising his hand. Yes, please. Hello. Okay. We will look at the next part and see what we have in the next here. So far, so good. And the next part is another exercise. I need someone who can help me. Most probably this will be our last exercise. I want someone who can help me in reading. Yes. Hamza. Don't we find someone else? I appreciate Hamza is always there to help us. But why not someone else? Okay. I want to choose someone. Okay, let's say Amir Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Amir. Can you read it, please?
Yes, sir. In section 1 of the IELTS listening test, you will hear a conversation between two people. One of the speakers needs some specific factual information, for example, names or dates,
Right.
which you will have to write down. Section 1. Tasks are often gap-filled, for example, note, table, or form completion.
Right.
You will get an example at the beginning, and the recording will be divided into 2 or 3 parts with
Right.
some reading time before each part.
Okay. Before you listen, okay.
Okay, before you listen, look at the text below, which consists of a form with some information missing.
Okay.
Try to work out the situation from the text. Who could the speakers be? Why are they speaking? Decide what role you will be playing. When you complete the form, what type of information will you be listening for? Try to
Right.
predict the language that you need to listen for.
That's clear. That's clear. Thank you so much. You can mute yourself,
Yes,
and we will see. I'll not go in details of explaining this. We don't have much time. And I think we have already explained much. I'll give you like 30 seconds to look at the text here and try to think what kind of questions are required. Muhammad Mansha wants to say something. Look at the questions here. It's golden wheels, car rentals, no more than 3 words. Again, customer request form, example answer, customer's name, Frank Moorcroft. And the second is address. You will listen. It's very simple listening. You will listen and you will complete the address. Number 2, you listen and write the telephone number. 3, type of license. What kind of license this gentleman has? Okay, there are different kinds of licenses all over the world. Like what is something you can drive, like small cars or big lorries, or like sometime you have international license, or you have just like license for your country, type of vehicle, what kind of car he wants, date for collection, um, when is he planning to collect the car, or he wants to have the car, and the length of the booking, for how long, for how many days. Okay, so now I have explained it a little bit. It shouldn't be hard for you. I'll play the listening. If you have any question, I'll just wait for 10 seconds. If you have a question, yeah, someone saying a license, we have HTV, LTV. Okay, I'll be playing the listening. If you have a question, please write it down. Okay. No questions. We will be playing the listening now. Okay, so here I didn't stop the listening. So some of you have already given me the answers, like for questions. It says, should I play the listening again? Okay, if you say that you missed it. Yes, Hamza.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Play
Hamza.
one
Yes,
more
Hamza.
time.
Sorry?
Sir, play for one more time.
Okay, what I do, I don't think we have much time now, as I have something else to share with you. What I will do when we start listening, I will start it from here again in our next session. So because there is something very important I want to share with you. So don't worry if you didn't answer some of the questions. When we start our next session, I will start with the same exercise. We will complete it and then we will move on.